everybody, I'm Philip, and I am back to watch episode 2 in Marvel's What If series. Last time, we obviously watched episode 1, which was what if Captain Carter were the first Avenger? And I went into it not knowing really what to expect other than what if, and was pleasantly surprised. From animation, to writing, to voice acting, it was really good. I really liked it. That was in real time, about an hour ago. I had to let the apartment cool down because it is hot as hell. So yes, we're going to continue on to episode 2, which is what if T'Challa became a Star-Lord? As of this recording, there are 4 what ifs. This is the one I'm looking forward to the least, only because I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan. Like, I'm not comic book fanboy guy. I'm like Marvel movie fanboy guy. I'm that annoying person. My best friend is really into the comics, so if I ever need any like backstory or stuff, I go to him and, you know, he fills me in. So this is different, where I didn't like the story so much of Captain America because it's so jingoist and stuff, but it was still entertaining. I enjoyed the movies. It's just not my favorite, you know, Marvel superhero. Black Panther, I had more hopes for, you know, in the box of just the movie itself. I think it was a little overrated. I didn't really think it was that good. It was like on par with Guardians 2 for me. I didn't think that was very good, since it was just Guardians 1 remade again. Black Panther was just not a very good story. The acting was fine. The effects were okay, but the story, it's kind of like Wonder Woman. I didn't like the first Wonder Woman either. I'm like on my own little island about that stuff, and I know it. Opinion is what it is. Yes, I thought they were a little overhyped, a little overblown, but at the same time, I dig the character, and I like the idea a lot of Black Panther. So I'm really, really, really intrigued to see what would happen. And I think this is a really cool what if T'Challa became a Star-Lord rather than a Star-Lord who I cannot stand. I like Chris Pratt. I like him a lot. And he's the perfect Star-Lord. He fits it perfectly. But there are just certain types of personalities that I just don't care for. And a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy fit those personalities. Even though I did like the first one. This is not a review of Marvel movies. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just get into episode 2 of the What If series. Holy crap, I'm just going off on some like random nonsense, right? So let's jump into this story and see exactly what happens. So without further ado, let's get into it. Ooh. Got the original voice actors, or the original characters.
It's more than a linear
cool.
path.
The voices are the people from the
Creating
movies and stuff. That's awesome.
The ones you... What if
you hadn't gotten into the car 12 years ago? It's cool, but it's also sad because it's not Chadwick.
The problem, I could get rid of it.
It's okay.
You sure?
Go ahead to use the guy.
Oh, that is so generous of you.
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
I have hired Wes.
Nice. Uh-oh.
freeze?
Nice. Yondu.
All you will find there is destruction and pain. Those people do not understand our way of life.
What
Still
you
don't.
call destiny is just an equation.
Everything checks out.
Does this really look like Peter Quill to y'all?
Sure, I don't know. All humans look alike to me.
But why stop at one world, huh? When we can show you all of them.
Poor Wakanda. Oh my god. I'd be so worried. Like, the heir to the throne is gone.
No, I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong. T'Challa here showed me there was more than one way.
Pretty sure it's still just genocide, big guy.
And I'm pretty sure it's efficient.
Nice.
Your money is no good here.
Nice.
Please.
No.
With 1 ounce, you can heal a dying planet in minutes. And with
Wow.
a payload the size we're here.
A museum that doubles as its base of operations. A mining colony and the severed head of an ancient celestial
Ooh,
being.
nowhere.
Our head of security, Proxima Midnight.
Looks like they got an exhibit running the museum.
Hold it. Security scan.
Try calling me Captain Genocide again, new guy.
Captain Genocide!
Ravagers will start a riot, drawing the attention.
Hey, you, creep show. If it's all the same to you, I'd just as soon get on with it.
The collection is much bigger than I anticipated.
Wait a minute, what's...
My guess, he's compensating for
Oh,
something
Lord.
big.
Try to look in the background cells to see if there's any, like, any Easter eggs. Like, cool things.
And we will search every last one of them until we find you.
Yeah.
My family killed. How is that protecting me?
Whoa! Guess it's family stuff.
Sometimes you need to hear a lie to see the truth. You're just like me, T'Challa.
I am nothing like you.
You're an explorer, Star-Lord.
All that awkwardness back there with Nebula. I simply abhor drama.
Your outfit would suggest otherwise. What is it you want with me, Tava?
Appears he does have a superpower after all. He can bore someone to death using only his sanctimony. Let's not waste the wall space. Ooh!
Double cross.
Then again, there are two sides to every story.
Relax, new guy. I'm here to rescue.
Something tells me this happens to you a lot.
See, the collector is so much more interesting
Does it not?
in
I
this.
set off the carcass of a terribly... A dagger forged in dark matter, taken from the ruler of... Or perhaps you prefer something a touch more elegant.
Oh. Ooh. Here we go.
Get to the ship.
He's using the bodies as projectiles.
You abandoned your home and family, and now your new family has abandoned you.
Eat this.
Oh. That'd be such a weird way to die.
No touching, Karina. No. No, 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 no. Stay. Stop.
Uh-oh.
Stop.
I like how it's all Flora from the...
All crew members present and
Thing.
accounted for by some miracle.
All you did was show me the universe.
and lie to
Oh,
you.
yeah. You're just gonna have to follow your heart on that one, Mr. Star-Lord.
Go see your family.
Baba.
My son, I knew you would find your way home to us.
That sounds an awful lot like genocide.
No, because it's random. Efficient.
But they're a lot of fun.
I am still wondering how exactly my son came to be in your spaceship.
Funny story, Your Highness.
Right?
You see, I took this job
I
and...
was lost, Baba. Yandu found me.
And from one family reunion.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna go back. It says Star-Lord T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. Did they record this before he passed? That's fucking awesome. Wow. Like, I may not have enjoyed the movie as much as other people, but much like Wonder Woman, I've even said in reviews, I respect how important the movie was. And same thing with Black Panther. I didn't think it was the best story, but I respected what the movie accomplished. You know, and the cast and the crew all being like representation that Hollywood never really gives out or allows. I've seen like behind the scenes stuff and all that. And from that standpoint, I absolutely respect it. And to know that he was going through everything that he was going through and suffering, and he kept it to himself to maintain what he wanted as far as professionalism and work ethic and, you know, a dream role. As I said, the acting and the portrayals were fine. Chadwick was the perfect T'Challa. Perfect. But it was just a story that was flat for me. Kind of underwhelming. But I'm not taking away anything from the movie and what it did. Just like Wonder Woman and how important that was as well. I want to put that out there before people get pissed at me about not liking Black Panther as much as everyone else. I didn't hate it. It's not even like my least favorite Marvel movie. And neither is Wonder Woman, you know. But yeah, it was just it was the script I didn't care for. So yeah, to see his name here, it's wow. Talk about this episode. As I said in the beginning, it was the one I was looking forward to the least out of the 4 that are currently available. Just like the first one, it was so much fun. And just like the first one, I want to see more from this version of the universe where Star-Lord is T'Challa, and instead of Drax, it's Thanos, which is really weird. Really weird that Thanos saw the error of his ways, sorta. It's not genocide because it's random. I'm sorry, that was funny. Yeah, my review of that was very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, if I was ever going to get loads of hate comments on any video, it would have been that one. I may resurrect it one day and bring it up as a from the vault, because I have like 200 to 300 videos that were on the old channel that got taken down. I would like to bring some of those back. I think it was cool to see just like they take the similarities but then add the little differences in, like with Drax and Thanos, and Korath being there. You have Nebula and Yondu, and just that whole dynamic. I think I said it during the episode that the Collector is so much more interesting in this than he was in the movies to me. This Collector I am much more interested in. Yeah, I liked it a lot more. I like that so many people from the movies are in this. That was fun. It was fun. Like, I wasn't going into it thinking I was going to dislike it, but I wasn't like, yay. But the approach was cool. And again, it's a really awesome what if that is very intriguing to think about. What if instead of Black Panther, he became Star-Lord? I personally like this version of Star-Lord better. As I said in the beginning, not the biggest fan of the one we got. I understand why that character is the way it is, just wasn't really for me. And I loved the end with Ego showing up to talk to Peter. Like, I want to see where this goes. I really want to see where this goes. Just like in the last episode, I want to see what happened at the end. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but I was very interested in that as well. A little more interested in this because there's a little bit more to work with. Because you can kind of see the path of Captain Carter with this is a different universe. And now Ego's there and the Collector is still like the main bad. And I love the Collector being the main bad for the episode. And I'm glad we didn't get any really annoying Taserface scene because that was awful in Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't funny. I know I'm in the minority again on that one. That's fine. But overall, fantastic. Again, the animation is great. The voice acting, because I said it's the original cast, is top notch. They're probably contracted to have to do it, but I still love that everyone came back to do it. I didn't pay attention to the cast of the first one, unfortunately, so I didn't see how many of the original people came back. I should go back and look at that. All right, let's go to my notes and see if there's anything that I did not talk about already.
Philip's notes.
I like the line, "What you call destiny is just an equation." That's food for thought there. That's pretty deep, and I like it a lot. Because I kind of intimated at the beginning that the Watcher said, "What if?" As in the intro. It always brings me back to my biggest what if. If had I not gotten in the car on April 2nd, 2009, what would my life be like, and where would I be? I try not to dwell on it too much, and to appreciate where I'm at and the life that I do have, and that I actually have a life, considering everything that happened. Don't want to get too much into that though. This isn't about that. Not trying to be a downer. But I thought that was a really cool quote. I did like the Howard the Duck inclusion. It was brief. Howard the Duck can be a character that's just a bit much in large doses, even in small doses actually. It was used properly here, I think. Yondu has always been, for me, this crisis of ethics. Like, everything he did was so selfishly motivated. When he said, "You don't belong down there with them, you belong up here with us," it's like, well, who are you to say that? Now, I get that T'Challa was all about exploration and, seeing the planet and then the universe. But he's also like 8. Every kid is curious and wants to explore, for the most part. And I just think that's shitty reasoning to place from an adult point of view to imprint onto a child. And then at the end, when T'Challa covered for Yondu, I get it. It's kind of like, how do I want to put this? It's not so much the abduction, it's the lie that his home was destroyed. All because he had this selfish need to take this kid on all these adventures. And it's hard to say even if Yondu's reasoning was noble, because it doesn't sound like it. It sounds very, very self-serving. This is what I want for you. This is what I want you to be. It's like, when you have a child and you make that child become what you want them to be, instead of letting the child become what they want to be themselves. Here, you need to play the drums. Why should I play the drums? Because I played the drums and I never made it. But now if you play the drums, you can make it, live my dream for me. Yondu is trying to mold T'Challa into what, if he'd had a son, much like in the actual story in Guardians, this is what he would want, the kid to be. But I like that. It's bothersome, yes, but it's also good because not everything in life is black and white. And I like those shades of gray. It makes things interesting. It's like when I watch Doctor Who. There's moments where I'm like, and everyone gets really, really pissy about it. But I'm not saying I dislike it from the storyline perspective. I like it because it's making me think. It's making me feel and react. And that's the point. If everything was sunshine and roses, it'd be boring. And way too bright. Way too bright. The sun sucks. So I like thinking about that side of things and the moral dilemmas that lie within. And I think it's fascinating and it's fun to talk about. And I'm glad that stories like this don't shy away from that. Because real life is not cut and dry for anyone, really. Is it a character flaw? Yeah. That's what being alive is. It's just like one long note that we play where we just carry around these character flaws or flaws that we see in ourselves and try and maintain and try and survive and try and just make it to the next day and the next day and the next day. And, hopefully we do. Hopefully we do. I think it was Ebony Maw, who I love as a character. I love Ebony Maw and Proxima Midnight from the movies. Freaking love those characters so much. I'm a sucker for villains. I am. I've said it in Doctor Who reviews. I love a good villain, and they were great villains. But I believe it was Ebony Maw that said, even by a slave's standard, you're foolish. And I was just like, ugh, damn, dude. And then the line that Yondu said where he says, ain't no way in hell I was going to leave without my kid. As I said, it's fun to think about, but it's those lines are just like, oh, it's so manipulative, and it's kind of problematic if you dig beneath the surface. And with that, you really don't need to dig that far because it's right there. I wrote here I'm gonna cover this part. This is for my patrons. Right up here, I wrote, I'm so much more interested in this plot because I am. I think this plot is fantastic. I love the whole scene of Karina got the bracelet and the collector's in the cage and then she lets everyone out. That was cool. I want to see where this goes. I want to see what happens with Ego and Peter Quill. I loved that they saved the puppy. They got the doggo. That's awesome. And everything else in my notes is for my patrons over on Patreon. So yeah, as I said, this is fantastic. This is a really fun series. I'm legitimately excited to watch the next ones. I may even try and get through them tonight. We'll see. I'm really excited because the next one is what piqued my interest in wanting to do this. Well, it pushed it farther forward, I guess is more apt. Like I was already really interested in the idea and I knew I was going to get to it eventually. But when I saw what the third one was about, that's all just the title. If you've seen the other videos, you know I am huge into not knowing any spoilers. So I know the premise, obviously it's What If, and I know the title, which is fine. Like it's spoilery, but it's fine. But the title of 3, there's so much you could do with that. So that's what really prompted me to want to kind of push this forward, as I said, in watching it and reacting to it and, talking about it. So we're going to wrap this one up, but let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this one. Very bittersweet. Very bittersweet. I'm glad that we hadn't heard the last of Chadwick after all. I think that was really awesome. All right, so I'm going to wrap this one up. As said, as always, I don't have a fancy outro, so I'll simply say thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.